Hi, folks. Grocery store shelves are emptying out across the South, and there's a very good reason why. We're less than 48 hours away from a winter storm that's bringing 65 below zero wind chills to the north and over an inch of ice to the south. Two massive forces are colliding. Arctic air diving south while Gulf moisture surges north, meeting right over the most populated corridor. What separates this from every storm you've seen this winter is the timeline. This thing is going to sit and spin for 4 to 5 days straight. Some models are showing over 2 feet of snow in the Appalachians and power outages lasting over a week in the ice zones. Before we jump in, drop a comment right now telling me which city you're in so I can focus on your area. I'll do my best to give you the most accurate forecast possible as this situation develops hour by hour. Let me break down exactly when this hits, where the worst impacts will be, and what you need to do right now. Here's the setup. A powerful Arctic air mass is diving south from Canada, bringing life-threatening cold. At the same time, Gulf moisture is surging north at unusually high levels for late January. When these two forces collide, we get rapid intensification, and that's exactly what's about to happen. What makes this particularly dangerous is how slow this system moves. We're talking 4 to 5 days of impacts. Slow movement means higher accumulations, prolonged power outages, and dangerous travel conditions that last. Friday morning is when this kicks off across the southern plains, with freezing rain beginning in the Texas Panhandle. Amarillo, Lubbock, and Childress. You'll see the first glazing around 10 a.m., making roads treacherous quickly. By Friday afternoon, cold rain continues across Dallas, Fort Worth, Abilene, and most of central Texas. DFW, you're likely staying as rain through Friday evening, but that changes dramatically overnight into Saturday. Friday evening, around rush hour, is when things intensify. Oklahoma City and Tulsa, this is your window. Between 4 and 6 p.m. Friday, freezing rain and sleet ramp up fast, so plan to be home before then. Wichita, Kansas starts seeing snow Friday evening, with accumulations building through the night into Saturday. Late Friday night into Saturday morning is when this storm explodes in size and severity. Dallas-Fort Worth, this is when your rain transitions to freezing rain. Expect ice accumulation starting Saturday a.m. Memphis and Little Rock, you're looking at heavy snow first, then a change over to significant ice Saturday afternoon. Little Rock could see 6 to 12 inches of snow before the transition, making this one of your worst storms in years. St. Louis, Cape Girardeau, and Columbia, Missouri, expect moderate to heavy snow Saturday morning. Springfield and Joplin, Missouri, you're in the bullseye for significant snow, likely 6 to 10 inches. Saturday afternoon is when freezing rain becomes widespread and extremely dangerous across a huge area. Nashville, here's the deal. You need to prepare for ice, not snow, as your primary threat. There'll be some snow initially, but Saturday brings prolonged freezing rain with accumulations potentially exceeding half an inch. Houston's northern suburbs could see freezing rain Saturday night, with even the city itself dropping to freezing. Austin, this could be your most significant winter event in over a decade. Take this seriously. San Antonio sits right in the transition zone, where rain could mix with or change to freezing rain. Shreveport, Bossier City, and Jackson, Mississippi, you're facing potentially crippling ice accumulations. Jackson, this setup mirrors the devastating 2021 ice storm, and you know how bad that was. Now let's talk about the Southeast, where cold air damming creates an exceptionally dangerous scenario. Cold air gets trapped against the Appalachian Mountains, forming a wedge of frigid air at the surface. When moisture overruns that wedge, you get ice instead of rain or snow. And this can persist for days. Birmingham and Huntsville, you're looking at a prolonged mix Saturday through Sunday with significant impacts. Huntsville sits north enough for more snow potential, possibly 3 to 6 inches, before any ice moves in. Atlanta's northern suburbs and areas toward the mountains face the highest risk for ice accumulation. Charlotte, you're in line for potentially 6 to 12 inches of snow, one of the heaviest events in over a decade. Raleigh, Durham, and the Research Triangle models suggest 8 to 12 inches possible with major disruptions. Greensboro and Winston-Salem are right in the heart of the heavy snow zone. Totals could approach or exceed a foot. Asheville and the higher elevations could see over a foot, with some mountain locations possibly hitting 18 inches. Columbia and the South Carolina Midlands face a significant ice threat rather than snow due to cold air damming. Charleston and coastal areas might even see freezing rain reach the coast Sunday. That's how strong this wedge is. Greenville-Spartanburg sits in the transition zone, where both heavy snow and ice are on the table. Richmond, Virginia is looking at 6 to 10 inches of snow with major impacts along the I-95 corridor. Norfolk and Virginia Beach, you're on a tight gradient where small track shifts mean big differences in totals. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore sit right on the northern edge. Current trends suggest 3 to 6 inches possible. A slight southward shift brings much heavier totals to the metro areas, so we're watching this closely. Philadelphia is looking at 4 to 8 inches beginning late Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, the Ohio Valley and Northeast, this is where we could see truly historic snowfall totals. Most of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York are looking at over 4 inches minimum. Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Northern Virginia, and Southern Ohio. This is your heavy snow zone. Widespread 10 to 15 inches expected, with localized areas in the Appalachians possibly exceeding 18 inches. Some corridor through here could see 20 to 24 inches when it's all done. That's not out of the question. Indianapolis and Cincinnati expect 6 to 10 inches beginning Sunday morning and continuing through the day. Pittsburgh, you're looking at one of your more significant storms in recent years, potentially 12 to 18 inches total. New York City sits on the northern fringe with 2 to 5 inches likely, while Boston could see similar amounts. Let's talk about the extreme cold, because this is just as dangerous as the snow and ice. Friday morning brings temperatures as low as 30 below zero across the northern plains and upper Midwest. Wind chills plunge to 60 to 65 below zero across North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and Wisconsin. These are life-threatening, unsurvivable conditions if you're exposed for more than a few minutes. Saturday and Sunday, this brutal cold sinks south with single-digit temperatures reaching Dallas, Memphis, and Little Rock. Monday morning is the coldest, widespread hard freeze across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Oklahoma City could hit -11 Monday morning. Mobile, Alabama will be in the upper 20s. This cold persists through the end of next week, possibly triggering another winter storm by month's end. For ice accumulations, Dallas-Fort Worth is expecting at least 1/4 to half an inch, possibly more. Central and southern Arkansas, near the Mississippi River, over 2 inches of freezing rain will fall. Many locations here can see well over half an inch of ice, with Memphis potentially approaching an inch. That's catastrophic. We're talking widespread power outages lasting days or even over a week. Nashville and Kentucky could see half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation. Virginia and North Carolina, specifically Charlotte and Richmond, expect over 1/4 inch, possibly exceeding half an inch. This mostly happens Sunday, so if you're in these areas, today and Friday are your last days to prepare. Don't wait until the last second. Grocery stores are already seeing panic buying and shelves emptying out. Stock up now on food, water, medications, batteries, flashlights, and any essential supplies you'll need. Charge all devices, get cash from ATMs, fill your gas tank, and have backup power sources ready. If you have a generator, test it now and make sure you have fuel stored safely outside your home. Bring pets inside, protect outdoor pipes and plants, and check on elderly neighbors to ensure they're prepared. This is a multi-day event with dangerous conditions persisting from Friday all the way through Monday. Power outages could last a week or more in the hardest hit areas, especially where ice accumulations are highest. Travel will be extremely dangerous to impossible across a huge swath of the country through the weekend. If you don't absolutely have to be on the road Saturday or Sunday, stay home. This is not worth the risk. I'll be providing updates throughout this event as conditions develop and the forecast becomes more precise. Drop a comment below telling me where you're located and what preparations you're making for this storm. Stay safe, take this seriously, and make sure you and your family are ready before Friday arrives. We'll see you in the next update with more details on this historic winter storm.